Welcome to the world of web automation. Today I will show you how to load a table from a web page with the help of Selenium and C# Chromedriver. We will then load the data in a data grid view into our Windows Forms project. And this even without showing the website to the user. This is the first next step on the way to perfect web automation, or in this case data loading. As a starting point, we use the project from the last video. I'll link it for you in the description. Here I have already shown you what the perfect initialization method of the Chromedriver looks like. You can use this project as a starting point for all your experiments and automations. So if you want to code with me together, watch the linked video first. Otherwise, just watch how you load data from a website table into your code. Have fun with the video. The complete website initialization is already implemented in the already known project. As a visualization, you can see a picture box that shows a green traffic light after the website is completely loaded and thus ready for us to automate. As an additional trigger, we load the page source into a text box at this point. All we need now is a data grid view where we load the table of a web page and a button as a trigger. You could of course also use the time of the green traffic light to load the table directly, but in this test we use the button. For our test, we use the table from example 1 on this website. After change our address text box to the new website, we can start coding in the event handler from the button. With a right click on any place at the website, we can open the Dev Tools from Google Chrome after click Inspect in the context menu. Also possible to press F12 to open the view. Here we can first search for the table ID that we will use in our code to get in contact with the web table. If you need more detailed steps to get the right IDs, just check out my other web automation videos on my channel. I put you the link to the playlist in the description. Here you can see what the complete table looks like in the website code. You can see the headers, columns and individual rows. First we grab the ID of the whole table. We will go through the table step by step and get all the identifiers we need to load the whole table, including the headers and columns. First step, we use the identifier to load the table element into our table variable. After that is done, we get the header row to extract column names. As soon as we have the header row, we can determine the individual column names and save them between. We will then use these to create a data table with the same columns. We could also create the data table that we want to fill later with the web table manually with the columns. However, our code would then only work for this one table, and we would have to constantly adapt the code. With this technique, we are prepared for all tables. To be ready for all different tables, we use a simple for loop to create our data table. This we will fill later with the complete table from the website and assign it to a data grid view. Now it's time to get all rows from the table body. We do that in the same way that we did already for the columns. We use a list to store it. That make us able to loop through all of them in the next step. In the Chrome Dev Tools for this website, you can find the needed tag names to get the data. Finally, we use again a loop to fill the data into our data table. For this we do the following steps. 1. Loop through each row. 2. Create a new data row. 3. Get all columns in this row. There we ensure the number of columns matches the data table structure. If not, we skip this row. Otherwise, we loop through each column and add data to the new created data row. As last step, we add data row to data table. After the loop, we can connect the data table with our data grid view to see it in our tool. In principle, you are now ready for most tables in websites. Now let's start the test. First, with a visible website to examine the matter more closely. You can see that we get a green light as a visualization as soon as the web page is fully loaded. This is our signal to start loading the table. Looks very good. Now the same again with an invisible website. This is in most cases the better way to automate this. This also works wonderfully. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please leave a comment or check out my channel. There is a lot more content on web automation and various other topics. Have a nice day.